Nobody likes hearing this, but I like to be brutally honest in everything that I do. And this video is for first-time home sellers. There are a ton of first-time home sellers trying to get up that property ladder, and a lot of them are in the condo market. So what I want to do today is give you brutally honest advice and tips that will help you actually sell your listing and not just give you hope that your listing may sell. Every single listing that I've gotten in 2025 sold because I ingrained these few points in the sellers for them to have a successful sale. I know first-time sellers are feeling the crunch, feeling the hurt that they can't get into that freehold property or upsize or, just get out of that condo market and go into something else like a townhouse or a semi or a detached. So I am going to be brutally honest to first-time sellers to ingrain a few mindset shifts that will give them a successful sale. I'm Atta Jaffrey. I've been selling real estate in Mississauga and the GTA for more than 20 years, and my goal is just to make the buying and selling process simple. So let's dive right into it. And here we have it. The hard truth for first-time sellers. Let's jump right in. The reality check. The market doesn't reward hope, it rewards alignment with buyer behavior. First-time sellers often expect the market to meet them halfway. In 2026, it does not. And what I mean by this is you could imagine your house be worth anything you want, and then you'll say, don't worry, if they want it, they will negotiate. I'm sorry, that is not how it works, especially in this market. Buyers will only bring the price that they feel that it's worth, and they will not negotiate beyond that. Why? Because there is a ton of options available to them. The seller needs to understand this. The seller is not in the driver's seat, so they can't have hope. They need to know exactly what their property is worth and work within that price point. Otherwise, what's really going to happen is that it's just going to sit there. Nobody's actually going to meet them halfway. For example, I hear a lot of clients, they say, okay, I'm listed at 600,000. This buyer brought me 550,000. Let's meet halfway. They came 50,000 below asking. The fact of the matter is they could have came at $1 if they wanted. Are you then going to meet them halfway? It doesn't work that way. You have to understand what the market value is and work to negotiate to that point. Yesterday's prices are gone. Your neighborhood sale does not equal today's value. It does if that listing sold a few days ago. If you're comparing listings that sold even 3 or 4 months ago, there has been price drops since then. If you look at the stats month over month, prices have been coming down. So whatever sold 3 or 4 months ago, that is not very indicative of your listing. You need to fully understand that. And the best way to do it is, let's say we've had hypothetically, let's make the math easy. You've had a 12% price decrease over the last 12 months, and you find a sale that sold 6 months ago. So you should price it 6% less than it was 6 months ago, because that is what the price correction has determined your value to be. Now, this is for apples to apples, obviously. So remember, the most recent sale is going to be your best bet, but in a declining market, even that is not very indicative of what your property is worth. Remember, interest rates have changed. Inventory is growing every single day. So the more the inventory grows, the lower your price is going to get, because the more buying power buyers have. And the buyer urgency has completely changed. There is really no buyer urgency anymore. And that's one of the main driving factors to these prices coming down. There's no motivation, there's no urgency, and they'll only buy something if they feel like it's a good deal. So just remember that when you're pricing it. Don't look at old comparables. Try to get the most recent comparables to give you a better understanding of what your property is worth. The first 14 days when you are listed matter the most, and I can't emphasize this enough. New listings go out, alerts go out. That's probably, if you're priced right, that's probably when you're going to have the most action on your listing. Serious buyers that have been looking around for, let's say, a month or 2 months, if your property fits the bill for them, they're going to book the showing right away, and they're going to try to offer on it right away if they like the home and it fits their budget and criteria. This is when your leverage is the highest, because you've priced it right at that point. You have a good product for today's market with the right price, which is why you have gotten so much action within the first 2 weeks and potentially even an offer. You have more leverage to stand on. So you want to kind of get the most action within the first 2 to 3 weeks, let's say. And if you don't, then you kind of have to reconsider things. But if you're priced right and you present it well, you will get the most action within the first 2 weeks, and the most serious buyers are going to walk through that door. Showings without offers is a big warning, and that could simply mean if you've overpriced it and you are getting showings by chance, maybe your pictures look really good, but then when they walk in, they realize that everything priced at this price point is a lot bigger than what they have seen your house to be. And you've gone on like this for a few weeks, a month, or 2 months. Clearly, buyers are expecting something different when they walk through the door. So traffic does not equal demand for your property. A lot of those buyers may be expecting something totally different when they walk into the house, maybe a larger home, or maybe they've seen other properties within the same price point that are in a much better condition, but your pictures did a good job of covering up the true condition of the home. So if you don't have offers after a few weeks, a month, even 2 months, you are not aligned with today's market value. I don't care what other people tell you. You can sell any listing in this market. Any listing can sell, but you have to prepare it and price it right. Again, I keep coming down to price because really in 2026, that is all it's going to be. It's going to be about pricing. Emotional value is not market value. So renovations feel personal and have pride. I understand. I sit with sellers, they give me a whole list of renovations that they've done and they say, this is why I believe that my property is worth so and so. That's not the case because buyers don't want to pay your premium for your renovation, especially again in a buyer's market. They want a good deal, so they are not going to pay a premium for those renovations. So for first-time home sellers, this is a little tip. Don't do major renovations before you sell. Minor wear and tear upgrades and patchwork, totally fine. Major renovations, big no. Memories matter to you, but not to the buyer. So if you have good memories in the home and stuff like that, it's good to tell the potential buyer in a nice story-like manner and maybe the description of how your family has enjoyed this home and future buyers will enjoy it as well. But buyers really don't care about that. They are just comparing options all the way around and seeing what the best value is for them and their family. They don't care about how you and your family lived in the home. And this one is the most important one, I would say. Testing the market is expensive. It's going to cost you more money if you're going to list just to test the market. It doesn't work that way anymore. That's only going to make you have longer days on market. You're going to have more price reductions when you realize that nobody's actually going to come to buy this property, and that weakens your leverage massively. And at the end of the day, it makes you sell for less because you become a stale listing with a bunch of price drops. So you're not actually going to be testing the market. You're actually going to be testing yourself and your patience. This is the most important point. Do not test the market. Understand what the property is worth and price it accordingly to that. What smart sellers do instead? Again, all back to pricing. They price it accurately from the get-go. They take in all the advice, they take in all the stats, and the day they list, they know they have the right price for that listing. And this is what I've been doing with all my listings, and they have all been selling within a reasonable amount of time at or below the average days on market. Control the perception early. Don't show them price drops. That just shows them desperation. So get started on the right track from the get-go. Launch strong, not hopeful. That is the key. And the takeaway is that this selling isn't about timing the market perfectly, because nobody will ever time the market perfectly. It is about positioning and correctly from day one. Again, all these points, they tie into the same thing. You got to start strong from day one. This is the hard truth that I try to ingrain in my sellers, especially first-time sellers, because there are a lot of first-time sellers. And if you have a successful sale, you can move on to the next step of your life. So I hope this helps. This is just a small little, I guess you can call it a coaching session for first-time sellers. I hope it helped. And if you are a first-time seller and you have more specific questions about your property, just shoot me a DM, drop a comment below. My direct number is 647-208-9724. Remember, I have been selling real estate in Mississauga and the GTA and Toronto for more than 20 years. I am a broker with RE/MAX, and my goal is just to make the buying and selling process simple.